In this lesson, we're going to discuss secure baselines. Now, in the cybersecurity industry, a secure baseline refers to a standard set of configurations and controls that are applied to a system, network, or application to ensure a minimum level of security. Establishing a secure baseline helps organizations to maintain consistent security postures and mitigate common vulnerabilities across all of our organization's digital assets. So let's take a moment and discuss how a secure baseline is established, deployed, and maintained in our organizations. Now, the first stage is to establish a secure baseline. And a secure baseline is established by conducting a thorough assessment of your system, network, or application that needs protection in order to identify the type of data being handled, to understand the data's workflow, and to evaluate any potential vulnerabilities and threats. Best practices, industry standards, and compliance requirements, such as those outlined in frameworks like the ISO 27001 or the NIST Special Publication 800-53, are often used as our starting points for defining a secure baseline. Now, to establish a secure baseline configuration for a given type of system, like a specific laptop model that our organization uses for all of our end users, we're going to first get a copy of that brand new laptop to use as our template. Then, we're going to format it, install the operating system, update it, configure it, and properly secure it, all on that one laptop. Once this is done, this laptop will now be checked against our baseline configuration guidance and scanned for any known vulnerabilities or misconfigurations. Now, once this is completed, we now have a very secure laptop, but it doesn't have any of the different programs that our average users are going to need to perform their job. So we can now install all the applications that are needed by our employees, including things like an Office suite, endpoint detection response agents, a web browser, and other tools like that based on their specific job roles. Once all these tools are installed and configured, we'll then scan the system again for any known vulnerabilities and remediate those too. Now, this may have taken us several hours to create this new laptop and fully secure it. So we don't want to have to do this each and every time we hire a new employee. So instead, we're going to create an image of this machine and use that as our known good and secure baseline for any new laptops that match this configuration that we need to be able to set up for our employees. This baseline will then be continually refined and secured so it remains up to date with the latest security patches, hotfixes, updates, and service packs as the threat environment continues to evolve. Now, in addition to creating the secure image for new installations, we also need to keep track of any group policies and other configurations that we're going to create and ensure they're validated and secured before we deploy them to all of our other assets. And so now that we have a secure baseline established, we can now deploy it across all of our organization's digital assets. Deployment can involve configuring firewalls, setting up user permissions, implementing encryption protocols, and ensuring that antivirus and anti-malware solutions are properly installed and updated. Automated tools and scripts can be employed to ensure that the secure baseline is going to be uniformly applied across all your devices and systems that are not installed using the disk image that we created back in the first step. So instead, we're going to be able to compare these assets against our known good configurations and ensure they all receive the proper configurations needed to make sure they're secure and up to date with all the latest configurations we've created. For example, in a Windows domain environment, administrators can use group policy objects known as GPOs to apply a secure baseline that dictates different policies, like password policies, user rights assignments, and audit settings across all the computers in a given domain. Similarly, if you're working in a cloud-based environment like AWS, organizations can utilize services like AWS Config to define and deploy secure configurations across all of their cloud-based resources. Next, we need to maintain the secure baseline on all of our assets. Now, this is done by locking down our systems so that our users can't install additional software or modify our existing configurations. Additionally, we're going to find that maintaining a secure baseline becomes an ongoing process. We're going to conduct regular audits and monitoring, and this is going to ensure that the baseline remains effective and up to date with the latest threats and vulnerabilities that we're seeing out in the marketplace. This type of continuous monitoring can be done by tools that will help us to identify deviations from the baseline and then trigger alerts for immediate remediation by our Security Operations Center team. Over time, you're going to need to periodically review and update your secure baseline to align with changes in the organizational infrastructure, business needs, and evolving threat landscapes too. Now, to aid in maintaining your secure baseline, you should also conduct training and awareness with all of your employees to ensure they understand the importance of adhering to the secure baseline configurations. Employees should be made aware of the potential risks of deviating from the baseline, and they should be encouraged to report any suspicious activities that they may notice when they're utilizing their systems. So remember, the establishment, deployment, and maintenance of a secure baseline is a critical practice within the cybersecurity industry that protects your organization's networks. Secure baselines help to ensure that an organization's digital assets are consistently configured to resist attacks and to mitigate known vulnerabilities and misconfigurations. By continuously monitoring and updating our secure baselines, our organizations can enhance their security posture and protect their valuable data and resources from potential data breaches.